while they have him here. So, although not quite sure where the is at the moment, if that's concentrating on a race, we understand. Don't you want to talk to us, Seth?
No, I don't think this is like senior nationals where I had to talk after every race, but yeah, nah, of course I do now.
How did it all unfold for you then?
And
friction that it works a little bit over here, but a bit of bad luck on it. How did it start?
bloody average start. I had to try and make quick work at the boys, but yeah, track's gnarly, some pretty gnarly kickers on the jumps already, and yeah, it's only for the first race it's pretty rough, so yeah, no, it'll be good to see how the rest of the day goes.
Indeed. Hey, how's your preparation been? Has it been an advantage to do the senior nationals before this?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, obviously riding the rough tracks would definitely help, but yeah, I can't say I've been riding much sand for a while. But yeah, no, it's all good.
Indeed. How do you feel now that you've done your practice, you've done your first race? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah, no, I'm feeling good. Feeling pretty comfortable on the bike. Bike's handling real good. Yeah, excited to get the next one underway.
Good man, Seth. Well done. Thank you. Nice here on the photo. It's a Ctas update for Seth Morrow. Thanks for coming back. We know it's a bit of an effort. A reminder to all our winners to join us here in the winners call today for a powerful.
All right, straight into it. Our junior ladies, we've got 12 to 16 years, 125 to 50 class, and this is going to be good. This one here, Ctas Horn, fresh off her senior women's championship last week at Barrett Road. She will be looking to try and defend her crown here as the New Zealand junior ladies champion. The trophy cabinet starting to fill up pretty quickly for this dynamic young lady. She's going to have a fight in her hands this week. Michaela Griffiths on that Carter Coaching Blue Crew Yamaha. She will be fired up, ready to go. And I think we're going to have some fantastic racing all weekend long. We've got plenty of firepower in this one as well. A massive 26 entries in our junior ladies 125 to 50 class. And with the likes of Ruby Leach up in the third place already. Miller Darlenberg, good start from Miller. She's there. Brianna Rogers, she is one that's been competing in our New Zealand Senior Motocross Championships as well. So this is going to be really good, Neil. I tell you what, 26 entries, and there are some star-studded names in junior women's competitive racing here. And thank you to the legends at AES Advanced Engineering Solutions, our super sponsor for this one here.
And if we look at the fact that they're our junior girls just in the big class with 26 entries, add to them with the 85s as well, Brad, to have close to 35 entries. That is a national record for championship events. So great to see the women's part of our sport exploding and growing as well. And hey, we've already had a world champion, and we've had two of them, in fact, with Catherine Prum and Courtney Duncan. Now, of course, the legacy is on for maybe who's going to be our next one. So there you go. The girls have come to race as well. They haven't just come to ride anymore. Once upon a time, there's girls doing a little bit of motocross. In fact, remembering it's only this year for the first time that we've had a 4-round women's championship. We've never had so many rounds to contest a championship before. On most other occasions, it's been a one-off, one-race, sometimes event, which has never been enough to define a true champion. So great to know that the women's class has had the prestige of being up there with our men's dominated sport as well. So, and of course for Ctas to do it. So she's just turned 15 in January, old enough to ride in our Oceania at Woodville and be the best New Zealander there. Just old enough to be as a senior, but still young enough to be a junior, as she will be this year and next year as well in the transition. So when you're 15 and 16 year age, you can either be the end of your junior racing or the start of your senior, or vice versa. You can float between the two groups over those 2-year periods. So to Ctas, she's right in the prime of her teenage racing at the moment, but of course still probably 10 years away from the prime of her overall motocross. So this lady is only going to get bigger, brighter and better, and I'll tell you what, already with that experience of going to Oz has only got to help the Kawasaki girl grow. Well done. 394 if any of you people want to get behind a rider here. If you think, oh, you'd like to support somebody in some way or possible, you know, maybe after this, is it worthwhile that you could say to her, you know, to shout or something, or a trip or maybe something, or put something towards her Australian campaign. If there was any a lady or in a family that deserve it, it would be Ctas. She is absolutely amazing and a real showpiece for our sport as well. So go to the far now for Ctas Horn. What a lady.
All right, look at that race clock, 5.5 minutes still remaining, so plenty of time for this one here. But our front three have sort of established themselves now. Ctas Horn, the defending champion, out in front. Michaela Griffiths Go Missy in their second place, so looking red hot. Put a lot of work into her Junior Nationals preparation, so good to see her streaking away with that top 2 result. Ruby Leach, another one. We saw her here at Flips Moto Park, putting the work in again. So there's a number of these young ladies that have taken their moto racing to the next level. Well, Brianna Rogers, former New Zealand champion at junior level, and she will be loving it there in the top 4. We'll then go back to Taylor Foster. In 19th place for Taylor, Megan Hellcrows there, Molly Nathan and Hayley Shiswas. Now we've got plenty of high power there. Miller Dallenberg's now down into 5th place with Olivia Bodie there in 6th. We've got Bailey Newbold now up into 7 ahead of Talia Hallison in 8th. Ella Burns and Georgia Miller. That will be your top 10. We've got 4.5 minutes remaining, so we're about halfway through now. Race 1 of our 5-race program for the 3-day weekend. It's going to be an epic encounter. We've got that massive big field of entries coming up next. 85s getting ready on the line, so look out. It's more spectacular racing here on the program as we see Critiana in action. Absolutely brilliant. This newly formed dual lane section just on the way before the massive Man or Two McDonald's jump here. And this Flips Motocross Park, although on the Ctas footage it looks nice and smooth out there, I can tell it's anything but. This is really, really rough and rugged racing. And these girls are making it look easy, Neil. So spectacular stuff with 4 minutes left on the race clock. Critiana Horn's now got a decent little buffer, Michaela. She showed her a wheel early on in the piece, but it has been the class of Critiana that still proves to be the lady to beat in New Zealand women's motocross, Neil.
Man, cool to see. And you know, we talk, Brad, we've been real advocates of trying to get these 14-year-old guys to come up and get into senior motocross at a national level at MX 125. What about getting our 14-year-old girls to come up as well? Wouldn't they be, you know, get a Ruby, get a Brianna, get a Michaela in there. They're 3 examples of the next girls that could come up, and they would be a serious challenge. You know, some of those other girls that we've got, Taylor Rampton, Holly Russell, and even our own Hannah Powell and others, they would really find it a challenge with those other girls. It would be really great for the sport. And of course, providing the girls and their family were in support of it, it can only help but to grow the sport.
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely fabulous. 27 inches. That is really, really exciting for New Zealand women's motocross. So loving it here at the moment. And they're all trying to catch one lady. 394 on the Team Green Bike Talk Kawasaki. Absolutely brilliant. Critiana Horn. She's streaking over this one here. Let's have a look at some split times as we get the 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. AES Legends of the Man or Two Club supporting us here. And it is out to 8.9 seconds, Neil. So that is going to be a big mountain to climb. But good to see Michaela Griffiths. She's had a horror run of injuries over the last few seasons, and she's put a lot of work in. So to see Missy up there in the top 2, absolutely brilliant reward for a dynamic young lady.
Speaking about AES, Brad just had the opportunity to knock into Mr. Parker as we were crossing the track against the current for each other at the moment. What a superman he was, of course. And in my early days of commentary, when you kids were growing up, it was an opportunity often to leave the car home for mum to use, and it was the Parker family and the likes that I stuck many a ride with. I've been a passenger hundreds of Ks around the country with Team Parker when they were travelling around the place. So even as Turbo Sound were building up to do events way prior to before we got PA equipment and doing these events, it was the likes of the Parker family that was so good. So there's the AES team all coming together today, and great to see Grandad here today to support the kids as well. So Team Parker, well appreciated and pretty awesome to see. So there it is. Let's put it all together at the moment. Critiana Horn, Michaela Griffiths, Ruby Leach are your top 3. Brianna Rogers, good enough to be a winner in her own right, but with the quality we got, forced back to 4th place with Miller Darlenberg. I think it's Miller. I think it's Miller, isn't it? It is Miller. I think I got prompted on that one last time. I think it's Miller rather than Myler, so I'm going for Miller. So Miller Darlenberg in there, and then back from Miller to Olivia Bailey in there. Bailey Newbold, of course, remembering Bailey, she's gone out on the 105, so she's having a try at this for the first time. So she too still really on the right size bike physically, but wants to compete with those girls. So trying to get that hot 105 kit on board, making it a little bit more competitive for her. So she's sort of, on that stepping stone, not quite big enough to be on a 125, but wants to race with all those girls. And there she is out there on the 105 KTM, along with Talia Hillison. Of course, Talia picked up some 3rd placings in the recent nationals, ended up number 4 NZ in the end of the championship, part of that Westlake Girls School that won a bit of schools motocross last year as well, so that's pretty impressive. And we go, she's an 8th, 9th for Ella Burns, who we see, of course, here in the Man or Two on that 137 engineering bike out of the Wellington region, and go to Amelia Hunter, who's the 10th national lady out of that group. I see a DNS from Abby Morrissey, so unsure as to what happened from Abby. And back there, the 25-24, people like Nikita Dighton, also in there. It's And I just think I saw it. Caitlin Parfait, of course, in the next one. So there you go. It's a mix from top to bottom of all of our girls that are racing. The biggest lineup we've ever seen in New Zealand of our 125 and 250s to have a field of 26. That is awesome for our sport. So bring it on in the update. Back with Brad and the expert comments as we watch Caridiana smoking out another hot lap at a good time at 2 minutes 13.039 on the number 394. And for that time, of course, she's not really pressured. So you can't actually say that it's the fastest that she would go because she only needs to be first. And why win by a mile when you can just win by a few feet and still take the victory? So there it is, the great Caridiana Horn going for number one and already at 13.954 seconds in front of second.
All right, and that clock has expired too, so the white flag will be coming out on the next pass, and she's just coming to shot too, so she's at the front end of the track now, not too far away from that white flag coming out, and this has been a demolition job. We've seen it multiple times throughout our 4 rounds of New Zealand senior motocross competition, and now she's picking up where she left off. Absolutely fantastic. Doing a great job in Australia, competing in the Australian Championship as well. Delightful to catch up with Caridiana and the team. We had legendary dad Rich, he was top 5 NZ in MX 125 racing, and even Uncle Jacan, he was top 3 overall in MX3 racing. So the whole whānau at the top end of New Zealand competitive motocross at the moment. And white flag out now, so 1 lap to go for the dynamic Caridiana Horn. She is flying. We've got Michaela Griffiths still there in second place, who's got a comfy little margin back to Ruby Leach. Ruby, the first of those 125 2-strokes now, flips Motocross Park, Neil. This will be a very big disadvantage to be on a 125 versus these big 250. So a big shout out there to Ruby, the first of our 2-strokes coming in.
Yeah, certainly. You've got this is a power track, right? Really, you've got the power you've got to do. It's a bit like that hot tip from Jared Hannon when he talked today. For any what was the hot tip of the day, if you're thinking about going fast, go faster because your bike stays more true, and you need that power to do that. You got that awesome pedal tire on, and you keep it rocking. And having a big 250 is certainly an advantage at the moment. So a power motocross out there, and she's on that hard-working 2-stroke, so she will find it just that little bit more challenge. But it's the whole race overall. On the other hand, if it's a lightweight bike, a lot of girls that, if they were to, any of those front runners were to drop their bikes in some way, it's a real challenge to try and pick them up and go. And when you've got a few kgs lighter 125, that's where it can all come into its own. So checking it out with our girls out there, 125/250. We haven't got a separate class. It's not as if you're on a 125 or a 250. That's what the class is. It's actually a combined class. So well done. But go Caridiana. And at now 19.255, Holy Toledo, nearly 20 seconds, smoking hot. This blooming lady from Ratahi.
All right, here it is, just waiting for Caridiana to come round through. It's been a brilliant show from the young lady out in front. She's just coming into shot very shortly. Here she is. You can see that beautiful C4 Energy Systems helmet on board. She's got plenty of great sponsors taking her to the next level, and this is going to be one big box tick. She's got a couple of corners to still negotiate, but to defend her championship, where she actually won this class on the 125 2-stroke last time we were in the southern home of the Sandpit. And this is going to be good. So here it is, Caridiana Horn, 1 jump to go, the checkers wave, and it's going to be one big box ticked for Caridiana. In this massive 5-race weekend, she will be there, and hopefully she's got the memo to go and catch up with Neil. We've had a bit of hit and miss with our competitors here, so hopefully the girls can show us how it's done. And well done, Caridiana Horn, gets the big job done. That is a wonderful win to start her campaign. Michaela Griffiths coming through. She'll grab the checkered flag, and that is a great top 2 for her. So she carries on her good form she's leading into this event with. And then we're going to look back. Third place, hotly contested at the moment. Is it still going to be Ruby Leach? Well done to Ruby and the team. Coming down here at Flips Moto Park to do a bit of pre-work for the Junior Nationals, and it's starting to pay off as she will come through very shortly and round out that fabulous top 3 here at our exciting 2024 AFC Motorcycles New Zealand Junior Motocross Championships. We'll cross down to Neil, who will have a overjoyed Caridiana Horn, winner of race 1 of our 12 to 16 years women's 125 250.
Well, we take an opportunity to catch up with our race win, and as rightfully you said, Brad, the woman pick up on it, and great to have Ctas should be joining us here on the podium at the moment. So to have our NZ number one, and amazing what this lady does in her lifetime just blows me away. I reflect on the times when I was a teenager and think there was nothing like this that I'd ever dreamed and believed of. So good to see just for our motorcycle. So great to see all those people. Yeah, just cuts out on the fringe here a little bit at the moment. Ctas, congratulations. How's flips today?
It's real rough, but everyone's running the same track, so I'll keep going.
Hey, fresh from your victory in the senior nationals, does that take something away from juniors? Is it, is it sort of a second-rate thing, or do you think it rated just as highly as you would the seniors?